Right. It says, yeah. Is it? No, we ain't gone live yet. Come on. There we are. All right. It says we're live. So welcome from the crossroads of America to a talk show meant to be shooting with disabilities. But we're going to talk guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I've got a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that good stuff. All the links are down below. So there we go. Let's see. Jason was first in, then DJ Play Nice, 2 Live Moo so far in the chat. I know it's early. So we got that going. Then my panelists, we got Jason Stewart. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, Rick. Thanks for the invite. You're my favorite son bitch on the internet.
There we go. Then we got Killjoy, New York Outcast. How you doing?
I guess I'm all right. Thanks for having me. Welcome, everybody.
Then we got Kingpin.
What's happening, Rick? Good to see everybody.
Yeah, and we got Guns and Barbecue.
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing?
Good yourself?
What's called Roll Call has just joined us. He said, heard ATF is going to post a letter declare pistol braces illegal unless you register them.
Yep.
Breaking news. You know,
I was just over on John Crump's show, watching him talk about it. Then in the middle of the show, he got a phone call of some sort and had to cut it off. So I'm kind of curious what that was, if it was business or personal. But
well, I believe it had something to do with the ATF and the pistol braces.
Well, that's what the show was. But then he got a call in the middle of it. So I'm wondering if the phone call that he received was regarding the information that he was talking about the pistol braces, or if it was just something personal that come up.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden he ended up having to cut the stream and go away. But he was talking about it. Essentially, all pistol braces are going to be made illegal. Like Rocall said, unless you are willing to register them. Something about a 14-day period. So, Blaine Trump said it's going to run from tomorrow until the first of the year that you can do so. But they are apparently saying anything that essentially would fire a rifle round, and you need a brace to assist with the recoil, that it's too powerful and that's not going to be eligible. Likewise, they're looking into, or shouldn't say looking into, anything that they deem to be too heavy. Therefore, if you're saying, oh, I need a brace to help me fire this because of the weight or something like that, they're going to say no bueno to that either.
Now, G Websites in the chat said that what he understood it is they were setting up the 30-day question and answer session before they do that.
Well, I got a question.
Yeah.
How do they know who owns a pistol brace or not?
They don't.
And not everybody is watching YouTube and knows anything about an ATF statement. So there's millions of people out there that would never even hear about this or know anything about it if they made that. I mean, they'd have to come out and they don't inform the public. They'd have to. I mean, who would know?
Well, the first thing they could do. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Thank you. I was just going to say, I don't think they can get them all, but obviously they did raid more than just the one facility there.
Yeah. If anything, I think it's more of
the main suppliers. They probably have the list of people that were buying them off the main suppliers, so I'm sure they can harass some people. But
this will get an injunction against it.
First, you got to remember, the ATF has got to do what they did with the bump stocks. everybody gets the right in their yes, get rid of them, no, don't get rid of them thing. They have to do that first before they can do anything. I think that's part of the rules.
Well, if it mattered, wouldn't they do that before they went raiding people?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, look, everybody said right in on the bump stocks. We've got to stop them. I mean, same with the pistol braces, and I truly believe this. It might. I mean, this is my opinion only, but just like the bump stocks, they do their 30-day thing where we all write in and say you're wrong. It's against the Second Amendment and all this shit. They've already made their mind up. They're just doing this to cover their ass to say, look, we did it. We asked the people, So there we go. Anyway, I know this is Shooting with Disabilities, and we've had some cold weather here in southern Indiana. We had a tiny bit of snow this morning. I don't know if we're going to get any tonight, but it's been cold. I mean, it's been down in the teens in the morning, and goddamn, my hip is killing me. Walking wise. I mean, I'm having to use. I think I mentioned this the other day. I'm having to use my little collapsible stool, one-step stool I have to get in and out of my truck because I can't get my hips hurting so bad I can't lift my leg up. I tell you, it sucks. But I'm hoping that my operation is January 28th. I'm hoping it's not delayed because, if they start cutting back on selective, is that the correct word, procedures in hospitals, because of the COVID. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I hope it goes through on time. But if it doesn't, there ain't a lot I can do about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was just thinking about that today. I mean, I was aching. I woke up this morning and just because of the cold, I just ache all over. And you think, oh God, winter's here. We were just talking before I went live about should have bought myself an RV instead of when I first got disabled and got my money and everything. Should have bought myself a little RV and followed the weather. Lived full time in an RV. That's what I should have done. But hey, that was then. This is now. Tony. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Nothing to do with disabilities. Friend of mine, the guy I used to hang out with, one of the guys I hung out with up in Rhode Island, and he is a Democrat. And he's anti-gun as can be. But we're talking today. First time I talked to him in months. And he said it to me. He said, Trump was robbed. That's a Democrat for you. He said he was robbed. He said there ain't no other way around it, But I thought, damn, a Democrat agrees with me.
It's a crazy upside down world, Rick.
Oh yeah, it is. But as I was going to say, I know I'm mad because what you call it? There was a way. There was, I don't know how. I think somebody here said there was two ways of Trump can still do it. One way was in January 6th when the Senate meets and stuff, and they count the votes to do it. And if somebody contests it, they have to make a discussion and go with it and stuff. And that double-chinned motherfucker, Mitch McConnell, said he congratulated Biden for winning. And to make this work, you got to have a sponsor from the House and the Senate. They've got one for the House, but he told all the Republican senators, do not do this. He wants Trump out of there for he can go back to being a rhino like he's always been. So it's just pissing me off. They're just trying to screw Trump every way they can. So what was the second way of them going to do it? Somebody was telling me here in the panel.
Well, I heard he made an executive order a while back, and I'm not sure of all of it, but it has things to do with he'll declare this a national emergency.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. He made that back in 2018, that executive order.
Yeah.
But I don't see how that can change it. You know?
I can't recall the names of them, but I think the one is what Insurrection Act, which I'm not sure if that's the right thing.
Well, you use the Insurrection Act, you're going to use. I mean, that's using the military on American soil.
Well, can't they were talking about pardoning himself. Remember that?
That would be military is basically a police force, which honestly, doesn't work out well, but it's would be
it'd be martial law.
Well, he basically held trials for basically all these damn people that are not doing their job. So
in
a way that's almost appealing if it wasn't done badly, I guess, because it could easily be very bad. But if it, depending how it was done, I would, honestly, I'd be on board with it. I'm all about accountability. And honestly, with the media and everybody that's running everything this way or that way, he would probably need some extra type of security to get anything done because these people think they're above being touched. So, that's one way. And the other one that I was hearing about is that with the electoral votes and them not, I think it was not, geez, I'm getting screwed up here. People were still giving some to Trump, so by the time they see it, it's not going to add up, and they're going to be able to, at that point, it could be in Pence's hands, and so there's a possibility there too. So, but I know there's terms for this, but I'm half with it today, so my apologies.
That's all right. That's all right. But another thing that got to me was the Wisconsin Superior Court, put Trump down again in a 4-3 decision about the fraud thing. But the 3 judges who dissented, is that the word? Right? The Chief Justice of Wisconsin wrote a scathing thing saying that the 4 who voted to kick it out or deny it did it totally on political grounds. He goes, they did, with all the information we got, they did break the law in Wisconsin. They did go against what the Constitution says for us to do, but it went 4-3. So, but I tell you, and they keep saying there's no fraud. Bullshit has been proven. It says that nobody's got the balls to pick it up. No judge wants to be that one, So
the establishment and powers that be don't want Trump in there, buddy. They're tired of him. They're tired of him. Republicans didn't have anybody before they had Trump. They were a nothing. They were a nobody.
And they're going to be a nothing again.
Yeah. But Trump wasn't like their guy they threw their support on. They didn't even like him at first. He had to pull strings and some legal shit just to get into the Republican Party to take him. So, yeah, they rode the high waves when they could, and when the times got tough, they turned their back on him. And they'll turn their back on us too.
Yeah. But on this I'm keeping an eye on the chat here talking about thing. Now, back to this pistol brace thing. Now, can it? I mean, because from what I understand, the pistol brace was actually invented to help disabled people hold a firearm. To because they could clap it to their forearm to be able to hold the gun correctly. So, if they're banning it, don't you have a case against the Disability Act?
If they actually come out with it, I'm sure there'll be lawsuits putting a hold on them doing anything immediately.
Yeah, because I would think that under the Disability Act, they wouldn't be able to get away with it.
You'd think they might still make you, say you're still able to get one. You just have to hop through another hoop to do so. And maybe offer you a discount.
I'm disabled on Social Security, and I can't afford $200 on a
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what they might say, and maybe they'll give you some type of 20% discount or something, thinking that'll be enough.
It's all about control.
Maybe Obamacare will pay for a medical device pistol bracelet.
No, yeah, because that's coming back with his what you call it, all his people he's got on. It's Obama 3.0. Crazy dumb shit. But you know what's going to happen? You can call this a conspiracy if you want, but China released this on the world. Now what they're doing, they seem to have it under control in their country because they must have had a vaccine before they released it for them not to be caught out like this, like the rest of the world. But China has got money, right? Then all these countries around the world who, because of the COVID, their economy has been absolutely crushed. China is going to go, we'll help you out. We'll loan your country the money to get back on your feet. No problem. Right? All we ask for is you turn a blind eye to our, what's the word for it? The way they treat people. Human rights violations. And don't say anything when we go and take Taiwan back. Then eventually China will go into these countries and 50% of the world will be under Chinese law. And then you'll have Biden sitting in the White House with his dumb, stupid smile, not having a clue what's going on in the world. So there we go. That's my prediction. Prove me wrong. So you're all quiet. You can't, can you?
Sorry, I instantly tune out when I hear anything about what Biden plans to do. I don't give a shit at this point. So until it's official, I could care less.
I didn't mention. All I was mentioned Biden was smiling after the Chinese takes over the rest of the world. I don't give a shit about Biden. He's not my president. I don't give a fuck.
You lost me at Biden in the office. So
China's pretty much already done all this.
How could
except for Taiwan?
I lost you at Biden? I said my whole speech before I mentioned that. That was the last sentence I said was Biden. So you tuned me out totally from the beginning.
But then it just auto erased back.
Yeah, but that's all right. So no, I'm just sitting here. I'm trying to stay. Why I watch this shit for, I don't know. Because all it does is get me annoyed. Even down the diner. That's all. I mean, that's getting to the point where I don't want to go down there because it's just, they're all upset. They're all Trump supporters down at the diner. And they can see our way of life going, And they're all, they said it ain't going to happen. They said we need to, I mean, these old boys are about my age. They're in their 60s and 70s. And they claim they're ready to go fight if they're called upon. They're ready. All these old boys, in their bib overalls and their John Deere tractors, they're ready. So, and they all have firearms. It's amazing. You don't realize, None of them have enough. They got thousands of rounds of ammunition, but nobody's got enough. You can never have enough ammo, you know? So anyway, let's get back on the guns. When do you think ammo's going to be back in the mainstream? You know, another year, 6 months? What do you think? Before we start seeing it on the shelves again.
Since it isn't back right now, we probably ain't never going to see it.
Well, I don't know. We got the COVID vaccine now, but you notice though, I've seen people are asking, since we're taking the vaccine, we can stop wearing the mask now, right? No. You got to keep wearing the mask and keep social distancing. Because they claim they don't know. You get one shot now, then you get another one in 3 weeks. So you're still susceptible to catch it or spread it during that 3-week period between shots. Then, once you've had your second shot, they claiming, well, it might take 2 to 3 weeks before your body, the antibodies are there to fight off any attack you might get. So you got to keep wearing your mask. It's a bunch of bullshit. Throw the mask, burn. I think we should all go to our capitals, take our goddamn stupid masks out and burn them like the women did with the bras way back when. It's goddamn asinine. There is reports out there. They say follow the science. There are reports out there saying that the mask does not do any good when you're out there, when you're out and about. Yes, like I can understand it in close quarters in the hospitals and stuff like that, because people's immune systems are down and stuff. But normal, general mill stuff, we're not around enough people to make a difference. So that's all. I don't know. So anyway, what you guys got anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, bras are overrated.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I see. There's a rep in Texas putting in a bill to succession, make Texas a republic again. So
don't they do that like every other year?
Yeah, but they reckon it's going to get more traction this time.
Yeah, it's still going to go nowhere.
Like the way the Supreme Court just shut them down without even listening to them. You pissed off the Texans. So I don't know. 2020 has been a strange world. All these stupid things is, we've survived everything they're throwing at us, but they keep taking a little bit every time. I was talking to my buddy down at the diner today. Even as I remember as a kid here, that I remember when I was staying at my aunt and uncle's farm, and they're saying, "Oh, we're going down to the store. We got to pick something up." We all jump in back of the pickup truck and ride down there. You can't do that today. They stopped you doing that. I remember as a kid saddling my uncle's horse up, riding the 4 miles to the local mill, walking in and buying 22s, right? Getting back on the horse, riding all the way back before I could go shoot groundhogs. We can't do that anymore. No, kids can't walk in and buy 22s anymore. Our freedoms they're taking our freedoms every day, and we're letting them do it.
Well, it's a safety coddle culture. It's all for our safety. And that's how they get away with most of this type of
Yeah,
stuff.
but the problem is it's, freedom, or if you want there's a price you have to pay. Yes. So, I mean, to me, is the masses are suffering for the few. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if your kids fall out of the back of your pickup truck and they die, that is very sad and tragic, right? But just out of 340 million people in this states in America, and you have a few hundred that happens to, the rest of us 340 million that got to suffer for a few hundred. To me, it's all ass backwards.
Yeah, I grew up. There was a girl around the corner from me, 2 houses around the corner, that when she was 16, she ended up dying in the back of a pickup, got thrown out. But, there's some responsibility. They were out, bunch of kids drinking, spinning around on state land, doing dumb shit, and dumb stuff happened.
Yeah, and now we got to pay the price for that.
But they're just no. I don't think so. I don't. Like I was stating, I think even though I know somebody, there's a certain amount of responsibility that people got to understand that you take that within your hands. You know what I mean? So you gotta. Whether it should be banned, I wouldn't state so, because not everybody's going to act irresponsible. So
now look at that case.
Whether there's a law in place or not, because I believe that was probably against the law at that time, they still did it, and there was still a death because of it. So actually, I think 2 deaths, or at least a death and paralyzation. So people are going to be people. So there's got to be some responsibility and risk in life. I'd rather, take a chance with risk than live in a prison, because if you look at prisons, people get killed in there all the time too. So
yeah, we live in a prison now where people are getting killed all over the place. I remember when I was now I'm going back to the 70s, now late 70s, right? The old Mitchell Creek with the swimming hole we used to go in. The local, the town church used to do their baptism in that goddamn swimming hole. They don't even do that today. You know what I'm saying? It's life as we're not free anymore. I don't know why we keep saying we are. We're freer than other countries. We are freer than other countries, but we're losing a little bit every day.
The attorneys ruin the country.
Oh yeah, blood-sucking leeches is what I call them.
And they somehow found a way to take the fun out of every damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty soon you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to hunt pretty soon, because they're going to say, we're the government. We will feed you. So you don't need to go out there and shoot deer and stuff. There's no point.
See, man,
or trap stuff. Trapping animals to sell the fur is wrong, and all this kind of stuff. And we go, yes, you're right. We won't do that no more. Here, let me bend over, shaft me up the ass without the Vaseline. I can take it.
Look, man, we're a couple generations into you can't spank your kids. Participation trophies. It takes a village. We're a couple generations into that, and this is the world we live in now because of it.
Yeah, I remember. I loved playing baseball as a kid, right? But I was like I am now. I was a fat kid, right? But so I wasn't that great at baseball, but I loved playing it, and I got cut from the team all the time, And I didn't, so I got cut, so I didn't play. I didn't get no trophy, and I wasn't accepted on the team to keep everybody happy. What's happened to them? today. I would have made the team, and I would have got a trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Would suck.
Yeah,
That's what happens in schools. Why half of them got good ratings. They just reduce what's good, and everybody meets it. So people don't want to do homework. They just stop having homework sent out, so that way there's not a decrease in the grades. So they do whatever it takes. So that's what I've learned in the past. Just because the school system claims to be good doesn't necessarily mean they're good.
Yeah.
It's something average as shit these days, in my opinion. So, and for the record, you can spank your kids, at least in New York State. It's got to be an open hand and cannot be your only form of discipline.
Yeah, but you can't have toy guns because you're
getting not on camera or something. But you know what I mean. But all in all, you can. The problem is, according to society, everybody looks at you like you're crazy if you do. But you know, the key is if you do when they're like young, it ain't a damn problem. You don't have to spank your kids every damn day. Like it's not a thing. Like you might go years and years because they learn not to push shit to that limit. So or you can have those kids that want to smack you around in the grocery store, cause a scene, and scream because you don't want to buy them that candy bar. And then you're a dumbass and you just fucking buy it for them anyway. So, like, I feel like smacking the parents, but that's a whole nother story.
Man, I grew up getting switched, paddled, belt, beat down like it would be torture nowadays. And I loved my grandmother till the day she died and love my mother today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My mother would have been arrested for child abuse.
No doubt. Dude, we had a weeping willow tree in my yard. You had to go pick your own switch, man. Like Indiana Jones and a whip across your ass. But you learned that way. You learned.
I remember as a kid too. My mother, she used to have real long fingernails. I always remember. And if you did something wrong and you tried to run, she'd grab you. Grab your forearm or whatever, and those nails would go in. If you look at my arm, you can see tiny scars all over my forearms.
What got lost is nowadays and how it's been like parent or little children and growing up into teenagers, they tell their parents no. They tell them you're dumb, you're stupid. When I was raised, you got a warning. It was called the phrase, don't you backtalk me.
Yeah.
Don't you sass me. Don't you stomp walking away. That was your one warning. After you did it one more time,
you got
time for something.
Oh yeah, you get your one warning. After that, you just get slapped, punched, or whatever it was.
Actions have consequences. So when people just sit there going on and on and on and on, like yes, it's good to explain things, but once you explain it, that's it. They don't have to like it. If your kid's gonna just keep continuing to run in the street, I mean, you got to do your job as a parent and do something about that. Besides say no, I don't know. People blow my freaking mind, but some of this stuff it can be simple things that just turn out to major issues, which are true parenting problems, like your kids running around in traffic and shit. I mean, that's you don't just go out in the road and argue with your kid to get them back to the sidewalk. I'm sorry. But...
Hey, and I'm sorry. Kids talking about kids in the road.
Like parents run the household, not the damn kids.
What is wrong today? Where I think where we went wrong is the goddamn school bus. Making it law that you got to stop when the school bus stops. The kid does not learn about traffic and the road. When I was in school, we were taught to look right, look left, look right again, or whatever, whichever country I was in at the time, either in England or America. We were taught how to cross the road, not have the yellow bus stop, put his stop sign out, and all the world comes to a stop while the kid runs out the bus and runs across the street to go home. So in normal life, he doesn't know. He just, boom, he goes out into the road and gets hit. And that's our fault as a society for doing that. Instead of teaching the kids how to cross the road, like when they get off the bus, they stand there and make sure the road is clear before they cross. We're not teaching them.
We do teach them. There's actually truancy officers, all that come into schools and say, hey kids, this is how we cross the road, all that fun jazz. The bus drivers actually have the kids stand out in front of the bus and try and tell them, okay, it's safe to cross, things like that. Unfortunately, we got drivers today that are too busy with their noses and their cell phones that are rear-ending buses, just blowing through those signs and everything else. If a car is doing 50 some mile an hour down the road, how is a kid supposed to judge that? They don't have any life experience to tell, oh, that car is going really fast, or this car is slowing down and I'm safe to cross.
That's my opinion. That's parents' job. Shouldn't have nothing to do with the school. If there's a car coming on us, then you should wait till the car passes. You shouldn't be out there playing Frogger on the road. Whether somebody tells you it's safe or not, you should visually check for yourself. It's just like when the light turns green. If you just trust that in New York, you're going to get in a wreck like once a week. Like, you need to visually make sure. But that's a parent's job. That's like teaching your kid to wipe their ass or not to pick their nose in the grocery store and all this other shit. Like, that's the parent's job, not the school.
I think a lot of parents do teach their kids not to cross the street and not to run in traffic and stuff like that. And like Barbecue said, schools teach that all the time. But you can just go right to Washington, D.C.'s records. I mean, they run over kids every day over here, man. They put cameras on all the buses now, and it went from about like a 10% rate of people passing the cars up to like an 80% rate. Once they started getting video footage, people blow past these buses nonstop, whether the stop sign's out or not, and they're mowing kids down left and right. I mean, like I said, you can just look up the records in DC. I'm okay with the stopping for the school bus thing. I mean,
not only that, but there's also just complacency sets in. You're getting off that bus 180 times a year, at least here in Pennsylvania. Something distracts the kid one time, and that could be the time that they get hit. I mean, it's unfortunate. You could sit there and say, oh, well, the parents should have taught them. There was a cat that was on the other side of the street. The kid got distracted, went running after the cat, whack. Now they're dead. Because you don't want to stop for a stop sign on a school bus? Get over yourself.
Well, I didn't say anything about the school bus. That's fine. But in general, it shouldn't be the school's job to teach kids how to do normal stuff like tie their shoes. So obviously, like I said, you should visually inspect yourself. So like they do, you walk up to the edge and then look around before you just run across the road, even though the bus driver's telling you it's clear. Because the bus driver might not see something you do. So I don't want to trust his ass because I don't want to die. So I'm going to look myself.
So, I mean, the problem is you're looking for the perfect world, and there isn't a fucking place in it. It's not a perfect world. There's not a perfect country. It's not a perfect town. But that's what you're trying to make it. Then
why do we have traffic devices at all? Why don't we just get rid of all traffic devices and say, hey, when you're approaching an intersection, good luck. Better be paying attention.
That isn't what I'm saying.
It works most of the time, but you can't depend on everybody to do the right thing. And anybody that drives should understand that. That's why I have defensive driving.
The kid jumps off the bus and goes running right across the street without even looking. That is what I'm talking about. Really, the kid should be made to stand on the sidewalk until the bus is left. Then do the left, left thing to the road's cleared and go.
Why? Here in Pennsylvania, pedestrians have the right of way.
Yeah, I understand that. But, in England, a pedestrian has the right of way on a pedestrian crossing. If you step out on it, you have the right of way. But on a regular road, if the bus stops, if the bus stops on a normal street, residential street, right? And you get out of the bus and your house is across the street, right? What kids today do, you say they're taught, but it can't be enforced because they come belting off of that truck, off of that bus. I've seen them. They come.
I've seen it, Rick.
tearing out of that bus, whipping around the front of the bus, running across the street to get home. Without
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. And
What?
you're talking, I said, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Of course it happens. They're children. But also, you're talking about just a residential area. I live in rural America. There's no sidewalks. There's nothing like that. So what? My kids are supposed to stand in a ditch while the school bus leaves, and then cars are passing at 55 mile an hour.
Hey, what can I say? You know,
I'm with barbecue on this one. I think the bus stopping with the lights is a good thing, but you can't count on people seeing it because obviously they don't, like Kingpin said. So
but
that's where it comes into the self-responsibility of checking yourself. You know,
the kids get out of the bus, they go in front of the bus, they stop to look to see if the traffic is clear, then cross, not get out of the bus, whip around the front of the bus, and keep on going without stopping.
There's adults that do that shit. Like here, they'll just cut off the sidewalk and just cut right through traffic.
And they deserve to be fucking hit, as far as
I say the same damn thing. Honest to God, you know they do because they're old enough to know better, and they do.
I mean, the kids should stop when they get. I mean, in your rural area where they were standing in a ditch, when they get to the edge of the bus, they should stop to make sure there's nothing coming before they finish crossing the road.
See, what the bus driver does here is the bus driver doesn't even open the door for the kids to get off the bus until all traffic behind them and coming at them has stopped. Then the kids come out, they stand at the end of the bus driver gives them a little nod, and they all go jetting across the road.
You know, I always thought since they invented those plastic safety helmets for riding a bicycle, that's like cheating natural selection. So now we have a whole generation of stupid kids.
Yeah, that's right. Is that a salad there?
Yes, it is. That's a marinated chicken salad. Something that you should be eating, buddy.
I'm going to have a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, of course you are.
You know, you're not going to spoil it for me either. You know,
enjoy the cheese and all that junk.
That does look good. You
need some real food, Rick. Real food.
I have real food. What's that dressing you're putting on there?
Oh yeah.
What kind?
The Italian. It's the one you mix up yourself. Good stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're on about. Yep.
Yeah, I don't like the other Italian turns into like a gel afterward after you open it. So
yeah,
I prefer making it fresh, and can't beat the taste though.
You know, G-Web's saying if we get rid of state-funded schools, then buses are mute. Who's saying get rid of the schools? I don't believe in getting rid of. No, I don't have a problem with state-funded schools. I mean, I was listening to some podcast the other day where somebody said tax dollars, the communities should do their own school. They shouldn't get federal or state tax money to run a school, which I can understand that in theory, but you take the inner city schools that are in the, for lack of a better term, in the bad part of town. Where are they going to get the money to run that school? Because 90% of the people are unemployed. So where are they going to generate the money from the community to fund that school? The money's got to come from federal or state. That's the only way it can be done. Should you deprive those kids because of the area they live in? Then you wonder why the country's in the state it is. We are our own worst enemy in this country. So, anyway, how do we get on this topic anyway? I was talking about.
I personally don't have anything good to say about urban schools, so you might actually be doing some of them kids a favor by shutting the school down.
Get off that bus and run for your lives. I said, move your ass.
Rick just doesn't think he should stop for a school bus because it make him 2 minutes late getting to the diner. Damn right. That's right. I mean, shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to stop for the bus. Those kids, if they got across the road, they will be stopped at the end of the bus, looking to see if anything's coming before they finish crossing the road.
And just blow through the sign. What's it to you?
I'd blow your horn at them.
Ignore it. And then when they fine you, don't pay the fine.
What are you talking about? You lost me. What was the first part of that?
I said, if you don't think you need to stop for it, just don't stop for it. Blow through it. And then if they fine you or anything, just don't pay the fine.
No. I mean, I stop when the sign comes out because it's the law. I am a law-abiding citizen. I don't think that should be there. To me, that's a bad law. But it is a law, so I stop for it. I'm a law-abiding citizen. You know? I just think it's wrong because we're teaching a bunch of kids who don't know how to act on the road.
Oh.
You know, because all they're doing is running off the bus and running home. They're not taught to stop and look. You say they are in school, but by the looks of them getting off the bus, they sure ain't remembering what they're taught. You know?
So Rick wants to get rid of the dumb ones, young.
He's sitting here judging an entire nation of children by the small handful that he sees on a daily basis.
Kids are stupid.
I'm judging by the people I used to see in Georgia, that I used to see in Connecticut, that I used to see in Maine, that I used to see in Rhode Island, that I see here in Indiana. I see in every goddamn state I've been to doing this.
You're going to see it in every state. It's not like it's just going to be one state.
Kids are stupid. Yeah, I mean, seriously, how many times do you got to tell your kids to clean their room? I mean, it's not like you tell a kid something one time and they've mastered it for the rest of their life. Kids are stupid.
Yeah, I was told once or twice to clean my room. Once I wasn't, I was given a beating. I learned to clean my room when my mother and father said, clean your room. I cleaned it. You know? Yeah, the problem is we're coddling the kids, and what happens?
You're talking about kids that get talked to, not beat.
Look how this country's turned out. We got a goddamn bunch of goddamn wussies as adults. Nobody's got any balls, and that's why they're taking your guns away from you.
That is correct.
You've taught them that guns are no good. Not saying you personally, but society as a whole. It's the same principle. Don't worry about crossing the road. The school bus is going to stop. Everything's going to, you're safe to cross the road. Same principle.
If we're gonna talk about the world becoming wussies and people not caring, let's talk about adults and not stupid kids that are crossing the street. Let's talk about everybody who can't wait to watch sport ball. I don't know if Midnight's out there, but there you go, Midnight. I said sport ball.
Hey,
I mean, just how many times do we get pushed around? How many times do we put up with this over and over again? How many times is everything okay because one idiot said so? This isn't some stupid kid's fault. This is our fault. And all these stupid kids out there are our kids. Our generation fucked this all up.
Yeah,
and we're looking to blame it on other people when it was us that did it.
And I'm talking about me. I'm in my 60s. My kids are in their mid to late 30s, right? They're just as fucked up because we let them. I mean, I tried to give my kids an easier life than I had. And all we done was turn everybody into wimps. Luckily, my kids were a bit smarter than that, and they turned out pretty good. But not everybody does on a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not in this group. I've been a hard ass. I've been old school, and I knew local CPS by first name. I've had more investigations and checks and been cleared more times than probably the average criminal around here. And I've never gotten a charge or anything like that. But, yeah, I just haven't. I don't fall to society in a sense. So I expect more, and better, and there's consequences to actions, and
Because
I'm hard ass, so I haven't been one of them parents. So
because of parenting,
there's parents that won't send their kids here because they're afraid they'll get disciplined.
Yeah,
because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, problem is we need more parents like that. Problem is, I'm going back. This has been going on for generations. I mean, I don't give a shit what you say. I mean, look at what we got in our House of Representatives. We got AOC. For fuck's sake. I mean, as a kid, she would have had her ass whipped. She must have got everything she wanted. Oh, you can't touch me because I'm Spanish or whatever. And the country goes, oh, yeah, can't touch her. She's a girl. Fuck that bullshit. You know, sorry.
Yeah, like I've had friends' kids over, like, hey, can you watch for a few hours or whatever? I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're acting like little assholes. I'm like, you're in my house, my rules. We're not doing this shit. And by the time their parents come get them, they're like, please, thank you. And their parents' straws hit the floor. And they're like, when the hell did they learn that word? I'm like, apparently while they're with me. Like, they need to spend more time with you. I'm like, anytime you want, just send them on over. I'll take them for a weekend. And the kids are like, no, mom, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. And because they're saying that and the parents won't do it. Oh, yeah, we don't want to upset little Johnny. You know? Oh, as Kingpin said, we as adults have done this. You know? I mean, I blame myself. I'm sick. We done this with our kids, bringing them up.
I think you're right, though, Rick, or whoever's saying that, because I see it all the time. Family gatherings, all type of stuff. There's always people that know better, but they're afraid to say something. You know, they don't want to cause waves or start an issue. But you know, you see kids running around acting like little assholes, and you got older people that look at you and shake their head, and they're, you know, that's kind of where we slip. In a sense, you know, where you'll be out to eat and kids will just be chomping away with their mouth open, standing on the table or whatever, you know, like acting like little animals in a sense, when nobody says anything. That's the problem. People are afraid to stand out. They're afraid to be that bad guy.
Yeah.
And I tell you, when you become the outcast. I can tell you that right now. But you know, there's principles. I mean, you shouldn't degrade yourself or to be what society says is okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the issues, though.
Goes, should people run over a few kids every once in a while just to teach the others a lesson? I mean, I know what you're saying, but if that happened, those kids who saw it would fucking learn a lesson. They definitely would. I know it's hard to say, but I know I'm not explaining it right. But so you want a perfect, see, there again, you want the perfect world. The kids won't learn. I mean, you got to take some pain. You understand? You know. I mean, there's adults today who never got into a goddamn fight as a kid because the parents and the schools wouldn't let them fight. You know. I had black eyes growing up. Didn't do me no harm. Might turn me into this grumpy old man I am now, maybe. You know, I don't know. So, anyway, I remember, I mean, another thing, you're right about the school bus. I mean, I remember some school buses I went on. God damn, that bus driver, you listen to what he said. You know, he wasn't messing around. You know, I mean, I remember if you messed up, he wouldn't let you on the bus anymore. And the parents could scream and holler all they wanted. You know, the school couldn't make them put the kid on the bus. So, but today, don't matter. Let the kid go on the bus, tear the goddamn seats up with his penknife. You know, not say a thing. Oh, little Johnny has it hard at home. Take it easy on him. Fuck that. Smack him on the back of the head. Take his knife away from him. Sit him somewhere and say, "Can you stay there until I tell you to move?" And if he moves, you hit him again.
Yeah, I got one for you, Rick. If we're going to talk about kids on school buses, how about every single kid, their house is their school bus stop now?
Oh, that's another one that drives me crazy.
That drives me nuts. Is they got to stop for every single house for every single kid.
Yeah, because they don't want because they haven't taught them how to cross the road. Because they don't want them to walk down the street and cross over to the other side where the bus stop is. Because the kids don't know how to cross the fucking road. Sorry, you got me.
Maybe we should run a few of them over then.
Yeah, we should.
Most of them are too busy staring at their $600 phone.
Yeah, and they're only in the second grade. You know. So, what can I say? You guys got me really riled up tonight. I was riled up.
Damn kids to have, even though they're in supervision of adults and the whole time with a phone. But for some reason, those little kids, they gotta have that phone now.
All I gotta say is get your goddamn ass off of my grass.
Look. Check out this. This is a good plan right here. If a bunch of second graders got $600 phones, any one of us could beat up 2 or 3 second graders and no problem. Let's start robbing these little kids and selling their cell phones.
I've thought about it. You know, John C. said the parents have. The problem is that they haven't taught the parents to be parents. That's what I'm saying. Generations, we haven't taught our kids. If you don't teach your kids right, how do you expect them to teach their kids right if they don't know what's right? You know, I mean,
everybody keeps making up for their kids' downfalls.
I mean, getting a trophy for just playing has been around now for a few years. I reckon there's parents out there today who got a trophy for just playing, for participating. So they don't know what it's like to be cut from a team. Go home teary-eyed that you got cut from a team. You know? Either you get better at the goddamn sport you like, you know what I'm saying? You toughen up, or don't try out anymore. You don't get a trophy for just being there. I never got. I mean,
you could get an SEC co-player of the week for kicking a 30-yard kickoff and then making an extra point from 10 yards away. But you got to be a female though.
Yeah. Hey, when it came to football season, then every team wanted me because I was such a big boy. You know, I used to get a trophy then. You have to learn to go with what you got. You know, I love baseball, but I wasn't made for it. I love football. I liked football, loved it, but I was built for football. So that's what I played. You know? So. Oh well. We went way down. I went down some rabbit holes here.
Well, you got to get things off your chest, Rick. Everybody's got a lot of stress built up, man. The news, the politics, life, COVID. It's got to release now and then. It's good.
Yeah, you're right. All right. It's almost quitting time. It's almost grilled cheese time. And my quiz for this Saturday, it's to do with the movie Back to the Future 3. I want to know what firearm Doc Brown used. And in the same movie, I want to know what firearm was gifted to Marty McFly. That's it. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get it to me by noontime Saturday. That's Eastern time zone, the only time zone that matters. So, there we go. So that's the quiz for this Saturday. And it's 8 o'clock already. Goddamn, where does time fly when you're having fun? You know? I more than likely lost half of my chat out there through my ranting and raving. But I hope to be better on Saturday, but I can't guarantee it. You know? So, John C. said there was a Back to Future 3. Yeah, there was. Yeah. Did you see that thing today where Tom Cruise went on a rant for a couple of people not wearing a mask and the COVID thing on, you get this, on Mission Impossible 7. God damn. I mean, they are really stretching that thing out.
I'm not sure if I ever saw part 2.
You know? Yeah. Hey, we're getting close to Christmas. Time to watch Die Hard. That's a Christmas movie. You know? Nobody agrees with me?
Oh, we agree with you. Absolutely.
I don't understand how that's a controversial statement at all.
Will you be surprised? You know?
Bah humbug.
You know?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah. Now, I did see on the chat, was it Matt's chat this afternoon? Happened to come on. I happened to click on it. His hasty opinions. Somebody asked him, he said, there's no question that Die Hard's a Christmas movie, but what about Lethal Weapon? Because it had Christmas scenes in it. It was around Christmas time when that happened. Did that make it a Christmas movie?
100%.
Yeah, I go with that. Yeah.
You say, shoot, the opening scene happens at a Christmas tree lot when he's busting coke dealers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree with you. But for some reason, I agree with you. But to me, if they said you want to watch Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, I'm afraid I would choose Die Hard for a Christmas movie. You know, maybe, I don't know why, but I personally, I would. You know? So. Two Live Moo like that. Hasty opinions. Yeah, well, that's what it is. He reads the headlines, then he gives us his opinion on them. Instead of reading the headlines, moving on to the next one, we got to go through a 15, 20-minute rant of his opinion of the headline. And what's so funny? When I got to the point where now I laugh a lot at it because he'll read the headline, he'll start going on about his opinion, and he scrolls down the page that he's reading, that he's looking at, and it will give the person's name and where it's at. And he goes, well, it's this person's name, and it happened at this place. Well, read the fucking article, you dumbass. It tells you right there. You know, but hey, God, I am in a bad mood. I got to call this quits tonight. I'm just going off on everybody. All right.
It's all started, Rob. This is your fault, man. He was talking about having fun, vacationing, enjoying. And Rob had to kill the whole thing. That was a terrible idea, man. It costs money and maintenance. Right. It costs money to live and enjoy yourself. Fuck, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, and my mood went down. You know?
I'm just making sure he knows the numbers. That's all I'm doing.
It's my dream, you know? So, all right, guys. Let's wind this up. You got any shouts or plugs there, Jason?
Thanks for inviting me, Rick. It's been a good show. Been a good time listening to you.
Well, I do apologize for ranting and raving like I did.
Hey, screw them little bust bastards.
Yeah. New York Outcast. Any shouts or plugs or anything? You can put your
No, just my apologies for getting you revved up.
That's all right.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Have a good evening.
Enjoy your salad.
I did. It's gone now.
Kingpin.
Rick, always a pleasure. Thank you, everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel.
I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah. Guns and barbecue.
Got the same old same. You know, I'm pumping out like 3 videos a week. I'd like to plug Patriot 1776 project. I actually just got the holster for that prize pack that I had won from him yesterday. So that was pretty awesome. I'm actually dropping a video on all the goodies from that prize pack that I received on Saturday. So be sure to check that out and go and make your own video or leave a comment for Patriots 1776 project.
All right. All right. Yeah, I think everybody should have got their prize pack from me by now that I mailed out. So if you won one and you haven't received it, please let me know. It's the honor system. So, Grim90 says Rick might need a Snickers bar. Yeah. So, all right. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for sticking with me on my rant. And if I upset anybody, I do apologize. It's I was just saying how I felt. That's all. But I will be back on Saturday with a show at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we'll go through it all again. We might even talk some more yellow bus bullshit and everything else. I want to talk about the vaccine, I think, on Saturday. So that should be a lively conversation. So I will see you all then. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And I said I will see you all on Saturday. So good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina. Since we don't have